You ignored that strange pain, called it nothing. Archangel Michael knows what it really is. Heaven is trying to intervene, but your time is running out. Open now or suffer. That strange pain you brushed off, the one you told yourself was just nothing, is not random. It is not accidental. It is not meaningless. Heaven has been speaking, signaling, and pressing upon your spirit through what you thought was small. Archangel Michael, the guardian of the righteous and the warrior of heaven's armies, has seen what lurks beneath it. He knows what hides behind the discomfort, what shadows creep unseen, and what dangers lie beyond the surface of what you dismissed. And now, he has been dispatched with a message. Ignore no longer. You told yourself, it will pass. It's just a moment. It's nothing to worry about. But in the courts of heaven, it has been recorded as a call for intervention. Your body spoke when your spirit grew weary, and though you silenced the cry, the heavens did not. Archangel Michael has been watching, a witness to your struggle, a keeper of your soul, standing ready for the moment you would awaken and finally realize this truth. The sign you ignored was the warning you were meant to heed. Heaven has been trying to reach you, not once, not twice, but continually. Through dreams, through whispers, through sudden unrest within your body and spirit. Yet each time you dismissed it, telling yourself it was coincidence, telling yourself it was nothing, when in reality, it was the beginning of a spiritual alert. And now the time has come where delay cannot remain. Hear this clearly. This message is not for the many. It is not for those who wander aimlessly. It is for the one who feels this pressing, this unease, this strange stirring within both body and soul. You are not imagining it. You are not exaggerating it. You are being pursued by heaven itself, for your time of decision is at hand. Stillness and obedience are now demanded of you, for the heavens are leaning close, waiting to see how you respond to this signal. Type I receive in the comments if you hear this message. Blessing code 777 has now been released over you. The warrior has been dispatched. The mighty Archangel Michael, commander of heaven's armies, has been released on your behalf. This is no ordinary visitation, no ordinary moment, no ordinary warning. It is a divine summons wrapped in urgency. For the strange pain you ignored, the one you called nothing, has summoned heaven's response. You thought it was small, but heaven saw it as a crack where the enemy was pressing in. You tried to reason it away, but the Lord of hosts saw it as an alert, a trumpet in your body, a signal in your soul. And now, Michael has stepped forward with sword drawn, not to terrify you, but to guard you, to shake you, to awaken you before the hour closes. Child of God, understand this. Within the next sunrise, you will feel the weight of this choice pressing heavier upon you. Time is no longer your luxury. The heavens are counting hours while you are counting days. What you dismiss today may demand an answer tomorrow. The angel of the Lord does not come without reason, nor does he waste his descent. His presence is proof that what you ignored is not simple, not minor, not harmless. This is a threshold, and your response will determine whether you walk into divine covering or stumble into enemy snare. Do you not wonder why heaven would intervene if this pain was merely physical? Do you not pause and ask, why would Michael himself be stirred if this was nothing but a fleeting discomfort? Because it is more. Because it carries a shadow that seeks to anchor itself, and heaven will not permit you to walk blind into a trap set for your very destiny. That sensation you brushed aside is not just a signal in flesh. It is a message in spirit. And heaven has chosen this hour to intercept it, before it takes root, before it rises, before it devours what you were called to carry. Hear this with trembling. This message was intercepted for you, not for the many. Not everyone will hear these words. Not everyone will recognize the voice of Michael sounding through them. But you will. For your spirit has already stirred, already whispered, already cried out in secret. The unease that has lingered within you is confirmation that this prophecy belongs to you. Heaven does not scatter messages at random. It directs them with precision. And now it rests on you. You may wonder why the words burn as they do, why they press upon your chest, why they draw your heart into stillness even now. It is because this is a selective prophecy, a divine arrow aimed at the one who must awaken, at the one who must choose, at the one who has no more time to delay. If your ears are open, hear. If your heart is tender, receive. For the Lord says, this is not for all, but for the chosen. This is not for the crowd, but for the one whose name has been called in the heavens. Therefore, be alert, beloved. Stand still. Recognize the weight of this hour. For the angel has come near, and heaven awaits your response. Type I am alert in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 888 has now been activated over your life. They told you it was minor. They told you it was nothing. They told you it would pass. Yet deep down, you knew something wasn't settling. Something about it gnawed at your peace. Something about it disrupted your stillness. Something about it whispered to your soul that this was not ordinary. And now you hear these words and feel the confirmation stir. What was hidden is being revealed. What was silenced is now being spoken aloud. The enemy is cunning. He hides snares behind the veil of harmless. He disguises disruption in the clothing of coincidence. He slips danger into the rhythm of nothing important. And many walk blind into his traps because they never discern the shadow behind the light. That strange pain, that disturbance, that sudden unrest was not mere biology, not mere fatigue, not mere passing affliction. It was the sign of a greater struggle, one that flesh alone cannot name, one that only the spirit can discern. You have felt it, that quiet unease that has stalked your focus, the restless weight in your chest, the moments where clarity slips through your fingers like sand. It has made you question yourself, doubt your balance, even second-guess whether you are simply overreacting. But listen, it is not just physical. It is not just emotional. It is not just mental. It is a war, and the battlefield is layered. Your body may feel the tremor, but your spirit is where the clash truly unfolds. Do not be deceived. What they dismissed as small is not small. What they waved away as minor is not minor. For in the unseen, there has been activity, whispers exchanged, arrows loosed, shadows assigned to distract you, to pull you away from alignment, to keep you questioning instead of discerning. This is why your focus has been splintered. This is why your peace has felt fragile. This is why you keep searching for clarity and finding silence. The enemy's weapon has been not the pain itself, but the confusion it stirs within you. Archangel Michael steps forward to tear through this fog. He declares, do not confuse silence with safety. Do not confuse dismissal with deliverance. What you feel is real, because what you fight is hidden. And though you have been restless, Though you have been caught between explanations, you are not abandoned. Heaven has tracked every shadow that has brushed against you. Heaven has recorded every tear you swallowed, every moment you pushed away the warning and told yourself it was nothing. The courts of heaven know the truth, and now you know it too. So do not brush this off any longer. Do not silence the stirring. Do not excuse the disruption. For the one who called you is greater than the shadow pressing against you, and he will use even this mystery to awaken you into victory. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you feel this word pulling at your spirit. Blessing code 1122 is being released over your destiny. And beloved, as this word burns in your spirit, I want you to know something deeper. This mission we share is not about videos. It is about souls. Every time you give through a super thanks, through membership, or through the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing seed into a harvest of deliverance. You are lighting torches in the darkness for someone who cannot yet see. The Lord says, "Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed." Your giving is not a donation. It is an act of prophecy, a declaration that God's word will not be silenced. I feel this strongly. Those who step into this river of giving will see open heavens over their own households. The oil that flows from this altar will not only cover you, it will multiply through you. So hear me now. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Sow into this mission today and watch God release what has been waiting for you. That strange pain you tried to explain away, that quiet unease you silenced, that signal you pushed down and called nothing, it was not a random occurrence. It was a messenger. It was a spiritual alarm, a signpost sent to your body because your soul was already under surveillance by the heavens. For those who are chosen cannot walk blindly through life. Every step is marked, every sigh recorded, every moment watched. The disturbance was not weakness, it was warning. And heaven has now revealed what has been hidden in plain sight. Hear me, the chosen ones rarely suffer without reason. What others would dismiss as coincidence, you must discern as communication. Pain, for you, is never just pain. Discomfort, for you, is never just discomfort. For those anointed and sealed by divine purpose, even physical disruptions can be whispers from the unseen realm. The reason it weighed on you differently, the reason you could not ignore it no matter how much you tried, is because it was not just your body speaking. It was your spirit crying out, signaling that something deeper was at play. Do not be deceived into thinking you are attacked because you are weak. No. You are attacked because you are marked. You are opposed because you are chosen. You are pressed because the enemy fears what will break forth from you once you fully awaken. This is why the pain came suddenly, why it appeared uninvited, why it stirred your peace. Not to destroy you, but to distract you. Not to end you, but to exhaust you. And the enemy knew that if you called it nothing, then you would leave it unguarded, and what is unguarded can easily be invaded. But heaven has not been silent. Heaven has not abandoned you to this trial. From the moment the first flicker appeared, Archangel Michael has been watching. He has tracked every dart the enemy loosed, every scheme whispered in secret places, every attempt to shadow your destiny. He stands as the witness and the warrior, declaring that heaven's eyes are on you, that you are not forgotten, that your struggle is not unseen. The throne of God has recorded it all, and the response of heaven is rising even now. This is the conflict you stand in, not just flesh, not just mind, not just circumstance. It is spirit against spirit, kingdom against kingdom, destiny against destruction. And you, beloved, are not powerless in this clash. You are shielded by the Almighty, guarded by His angels, watched over by His Spirit. Your ignored pain was never just an ailment. It was the early sound of a trumpet, a divine alert to awaken you into prayer, to draw you into stillness, to remind you that you are not ordinary and therefore cannot treat your experiences as ordinary. Archangel Michael says, "Lift your eyes. Do not see this as punishment, but as protection." What seemed like a crack was heaven's opening for intervention. What seemed like a distraction was heaven's reminder that you are not fighting alone. So let the weight of this revelation rest upon you. You are not weak. You are not abandoned. You are marked, chosen, and watched over. And this conflict, though real, has already been framed in heaven's favor. Type "I am guarded" in the comments if you know this word belongs to you. Blessing code 444 has now been sealed over your life. The heavens have been patient with you. The signs have whispered. The body has spoken. The spirit has stirred. Yet you have delayed, telling yourself that time was still yours, that tomorrow would be enough. But listen carefully now, for the patience of heaven has limits when destiny is at stake. What was a gentle nudge is becoming a pressing weight. What was a quiet signal is about to become a trumpet. And if you continue to dismiss it, the pressure will escalate beyond what you are ready to bear. This is not fear speaking. This is not a threat from man. This is the voice of heaven's warning, delivered by the warrior of God himself. Archangel Michael declares, "Do not play with time, for time does not play with you." Do not ignore the signal, for the signal will not remain quiet. The hourglass has been turned. Within 72 hours, what has been hidden will attempt to manifest fully. The shadow you ignored will seek to take form. What you once felt as discomfort will seek to settle as disruption. And if you do not respond, if you continue to call it nothing, then the nothing will become something greater than you imagine. Understand this. In the unseen, there is movement. Someone, something, has been pressing against the borders of your life. It waits for your silence. It thrives in your dismissal. It grows in your neglect. This is why heaven is pressing you with such urgency, why this message has intercepted you now. The divine is saying, do not wait until it is too late. Do not allow delay to become your downfall. For every warning left unanswered opens a wider door, and every door left unguarded invites the thief. Beloved, this is not to crush you, but to wake you. Heaven does not warn where there is no hope. Heaven does not send Michael where there is no victory. This word is not meant to drive you into despair, but to drive you into decision. You still have time, but your time is running out. You still have authority, but authority unused becomes ground surrendered. The choice rests with you. Will you open now, or will you suffer what comes when heaven's intervention turns into heaven's consequence? Let the weight of this truth pierce you. God does not delight in warning without reason. The Spirit does not trouble your rest without purpose. That strange pain, that uneasy stirring, that recurring unrest was the mercy of heaven reaching for you before the enemy's hand could close around you. But if you continue to silence it, if you continue to bury it, then mercy will step back and consequence will arrive. This is your final caution before the threshold is crossed. Take this moment as sacred, for the hour draws near, and the one who hears and obeys will find protection, but the one who hears and ignores will face what they were warned against. Heaven has spoken, and heaven waits for your response. Type "I choose heaven" in the comments if you hear this warning and decide to obey. Blessing code 999 has now been declared over your life. Be still. This is the first command from the throne concerning you. Do not rush. Do not panic. Do not let fear push you into reckless action. For the one who is still will hear the whisper of heaven, that the one who runs frantically will miss the instructions that save them. Archangel Michael stands with his sword unsheathed, ready to strike on your behalf, but heaven requires your cooperation. You must align your spirit to the rhythm of divine order. You must anchor yourself in silence so the battle can be fought for you, by you. When the pain rises, do not fill the air with complaints. When the unease stirs, do not speak defeat. Your words are weapons, and the enemy longs to twist them into openings. This is why heaven commands, withdraw into prayer. Guard your tongue. Listen for the divine whisper. For in silence, heaven moved. In stillness, angels war. In the quiet of surrendered obedience, the atmosphere around you begins to shift. Child of God, understand this. You are not abandoned in this hour. You are not left to fend for yourself. The very reason you are hearing these words is because heaven has wrapped a shield around you. Even as you wrestled with questions, even as you struggled with doubt, you were being covered. The fiery darts of the enemy were already intercepted before they could reach your soul. The destruction you felt in your body was not evidence of abandonment, but evidence of intervention. It was a sign that heaven was already near. There is strength in silence. The stillness you are called to is not weakness, but strategy. The Spirit of God says, cease striving and know that I am God. Do not allow panic to convince you that motion is progress. Sometimes the greatest victory is secured in the quiet place, where your tears are prayers, your sighs are offerings, and your faith is louder than your words. This is the hour where less movement in the flesh means greater breakthrough in the spirit. So step back from chaos. Withdraw from noise. Enter the secret place. Let the shield of heaven surround you like a wall of fire. The enemy will press, but he cannot penetrate the covering that now surrounds you. You are hidden. You are shielded. You are encircled by angels who stand guard like sentinels of light. Archangel Michael says, do not be afraid of what you feel. The trembling you sense is not the sign of defeat, but the sign that heaven's army is near. The shaking you feel in your body, the restlessness you sense in your spirit, these are the movements of divine protection. You are in the center of a battlefield you cannot see, and yet you are standing in victory because heaven fights for you. Take this moment to align. Be still. Pray in silence. Guard your words. Trust the unseen shield that now surrounds you. For in this hour, your greatest strength will be your obedience to stay covered, your willingness to trust heaven's process, your surrender to let God fight for you. Type "I am shielded" in the comments if you receive this divine guidance. Blessing code 555 is now protecting your destiny. Hear me now, beloved. You are not at the mercy of this pain. You are not chained by what the enemy intended for harm. You are not a victim to circumstance, to flesh, to disruption. No, you are chosen, and what you have felt is not your end, but your awakening. That pressure you call nothing is in fact a marker of your rising. The pain is not the evidence of defeat. It is the evidence of transformation. For just as fire forges steel, this pain is forging you into unbreakable strength. Just as the cocoon presses against the wings of a butterfly, this discomfort has been pressing you into expansion. The strange unease you tried to silence was not meant to crush you, but to shape you. It was heaven's way of announcing that something within you is breaking open. Something within you is being birthed. Something within you is rising that no darkness can contain. Archangel Michael declares, you are rising beyond what they expected you to survive. The enemy thought this disruption would silence you, but instead it will position you. They thought this pain would diminish your faith, but instead it will ignite it. What the enemy intended as a snare has been turned into a signal, a divine alarm that called heaven closer to you. And because you endured, because you are still standing, because you are hearing this word right now, you are already walking into victory. Look again at your struggle through heaven's eyes. It is not weakness, it is strength concealed. It is not punishment, it is preparation. The pain was never the final chapter. It was the opening line of your testimony. What you endured in silence will soon echo as your victory cry. What you bore in private will soon become the evidence of God's glory made public. This is the shift from victimhood to authority, from silence to proclamation, from hidden warfare to visible triumph. Do not despise the discomfort, for it has been your teacher. Do not curse the pain, for it has been your threshold. Every tear, every restless night, every unanswered question has been part of the refining process. Heaven never wastes suffering. Heaven never allows pain without planting purpose within it. And you, child of God, are now standing on the edge of your empowerment. Lift your head, for you are not small. Lift your spirit, for you are not broken. Lift your voice, for you are not abandoned. The very fact that you have endured, the very fact that you hear this word, is proof that your strength is greater than you imagine. And now, heaven calls you to step fully into the identity that was always yours. Chosen, guarded, anointed, empowered. The pain was the signal. The pressure was the process. But the result is power. You are not what happened to you. You are what you became through it. Type I am empowered in the comments if this word resonates in your soul. Blessing code 1313 is now igniting your spirit. Beloved, hear the word of the Lord through the mouth of his messenger. What you thought was a breaking was not your destruction. It was your positioning. The pain, the disturbance, the restless unease that haunted your body and your soul was heaven's way of shifting you into alignment. You asked for breakthrough, and heaven responded, but breakthrough never comes without shaking. You asked for doors to open, and heaven agreed, but doors never open without pressure. What you felt as discomfort was in truth the sound of your destiny unlocking. Archangel Michael speaks. I have seen your fight. I have seen your tears. I have seen your silence when no one else could hear you. I have seen the weight you carried when others dismissed it as nothing. And I testify before the throne. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. Your name is spoken in heavenly places, and your endurance has been recorded as faith. Do not despise this moment, for it is holy. Do not curse this pain, for it has purpose. Heaven knew you would reach this point. Heaven marked this hour for revelation. The restlessness you endured was not a sign of weakness, but of growth. Just as a seed must break open before life emerges, you too had to be broken open before your next level could be birthed. That is why the shaking came. That is why the unrest pressed in. It was not the end of you. It was the unveiling of you. You are stepping into a greater realm of authority now. This is not the season of hiding. This is not the season of silence. This is the season of unveiling, where what heaven has placed within you will begin to manifest outwardly. And though the enemy tried to disguise this disruption as nothing, heaven is revealing that it was in fact everything. It was the turning point, the pivot, the intersection of destiny. The Spirit says, what you thought was pain was prophecy. What you thought was loss was positioning. What you thought was breaking was the unlocking of your next chapter. Do not miss this. Do not let your eyes stay fixed on what hurt you. Lift them to the horizon of what is being born in you. For the heavens are in agreement. The angels are standing witness, and Michael himself bears testimony that this disruption has sealed your advancement. Your story has not been one of defeat, but of divine orchestration. Your fight has been noted in the records of heaven, and your victory has already been spoken. Walk now as one who has heard, as one who has received, as one who knows they are chosen for this hour. Type "I receive prophecy" in the comments if this revelation confirms in your spirit. Blessing code 1717 is now surrounding you. And now, as this prophetic revelation flows into your heart, I must remind you, this mission does not stop with you alone. Every word released here is a seed planted into the lives of countless others who need awakening. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a platform. You are fueling prophecy. You are sowing into the rivers of living water that flow from heaven into weary souls. The Lord declares, those who scatter seed will see a harvest without measure. Your giving is not a transaction. It is a spiritual act of warfare, joining heaven's work and setting captives free. Those who move now in obedience will not only bless others, but they themselves will walk under open heavens of provision and protection. Do not hold back. Respond, sow, and let your gift become a weapon of light in the battle for souls. Beloved, the time of hesitation is over. The pain you ignored, the disruption you dismissed, has already been unmasked as a signal from heaven. Now, heaven waits for your answer. You stand at the threshold of activation, and what happens next will not be determined by chance, but by choice. The Spirit of God declares, your surrender is the key, your obedience is the doorway, your yes is the unlocking of divine intervention. You cannot remain silent. You cannot remain passive. The heavens are pressing upon you, waiting to hear your agreement, waiting to hear your voice align with the decree already spoken over you. Archangel Michael has gone forth, standing ready with the host of heaven, but the order to strike, the permission to intervene, rests upon your declaration. When you say yes, when you open your spirit, when you choose obedience, heaven's armies are loosed on your behalf. Do not think destiny waits forever. Do not believe that the window will always remain open. The Spirit warns, now is the appointed time. Today is the day of response. Delay is the enemy's strategy. Confusion is the enemy's trap. Indifference is the enemy's victory. But surrender, obedience, declaration, these are the weapons that dismantle darkness and establish your authority. Hear me. You have the power to activate what heaven has been holding in reserve for you. It is not withheld because you are unworthy. It has been delayed because heaven is waiting for your yes. The moment you align, the moment you speak, the moment you choose, the floodgates open. Chains break. Shadows scatter. Doors unlock. What has been tied up in the spirit realm is suddenly released into your life. This is why the enemy fought you so hard to dismiss the pain as nothing. This is why he pressed you to ignore the warning. Because he knew that if you discerned the truth, if you awakened, if you spoke, if you surrendered, the fullness of heaven's intervention would be unleashed and his plans would collapse. That moment is now. This choice is now. The question is not whether heaven is ready. The question is whether you are willing. Lift your voice. Declare alignment. Speak life into the silence. Say yes to heaven's call. Yes to the prophetic warning. Yes to the intervention that is already waiting. Do not wait until consequence forces you. Choose now while mercy is extended. The battle is not yours to win, but the activation is yours to release. Archangel Michael proclaims, "Open your mouth and the heavens will open. Open your heart and the armies will march. Open your spirit and the breakthrough will manifest." This is the hour where silence is no longer safety. It is surrender to the wrong kingdom. Choose obedience. Choose destiny. Choose life. Your destiny does not wait for the careless. Your calling does not bow to delay. Your future does not belong to hesitation. This moment is sacred. This moment is decisive. Heaven is leaning near, waiting for you to release your yes. Type ISAYYS in the comments if you are ready to activate your destiny. Blessing code 2020 is now unlocking your next season. Even as you dismissed the pain, even as you told yourself it was nothing, even as you silenced the whisper within you, there were negotiations happening in realms unseen. You were unaware, but angels were not idle. You were distracted, but heaven was not absent. While you brushed it off, Michael and the armies of light stood in position, intercepting what the enemy tried to plant, tearing down what the adversary sought to build, silencing accusations that rose against your name in the courts of darkness. Child of God, this is the mystery you must understand. What you called ordinary was never ordinary. While you were busy with the rhythm of days, eternity was moving on your behalf. While your lips spoke dismissal, your spirit cried out without words, and heaven heard that cry. Every sigh you released when no one was watching was counted as prayer. Every restless night was recorded as intercession. Every unspoken thought of fear or exhaustion was taken into the record books of heaven. Nothing slipped unnoticed. Nothing was lost. This is the silent exchange in the spirit realm. The enemy plants affliction, but heaven uproots it. The adversary weaves snares, but angels cut them loose. The darkness whispers lies of nothingness, but heaven responds with shouts of destiny. You are living not only by what you see, but by what has been negotiated for you in realms you cannot touch. And though you thought you stood alone, you were surrounded. Though you felt unseen, you were shielded. Though you believed you were silenced, your spirit spoke volumes that heaven translated into battle cries. Archangel Michael declares, even when you said nothing, your soul was speaking. Even when you ignored, heaven was answering. Even when you denied, angels were contending. This is why you are still here. This is why the shadow did not settle. why the disruption did not devour, why the scheme did not succeed. Because your destiny is greater than your doubt, and heaven's investment in you outweighs your hesitation. And now, you are awakening to it. You are finally seeing that the battle was never small. The shaking you felt in your body was only the surface echo of a greater war raging around your name. The enemy pressed, but he was blocked. The adversary planned, but he was denied. The thief approached, but he was intercepted. Every moment you survived in silence was proof that angels were working in the noise of the unseen. Do not think lightly of this. Do not underestimate what has been accomplished for you while you slept, while you doubted, while you dismissed. The kingdom has been moving. The kingdom has been fighting. And the very fact you hear this message now is evidence that heaven has already decided you will not be overtaken. Lift your spirit and know there are exchanges happening for you even now. The hand of the enemy is being restrained. The affliction he planted is being uprooted. The accusations he spoke are being overturned. The scales are tipping in your favor, not because of what you did, but because of who you are. Chosen, marked, sealed. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you believe angels have been contending for you. Blessing code 3030 is now confirming your protection. The heavens declare this now. What was meant for your harm is turning. The very pain you ignored, the very disruption you thought was nothing, the very shadow that pressed against your life, it will not end as the enemy intended. For the God of justice has spoken, and his word does not return void. The scales are being rebalanced. The tables are being turned. The hand that struck against you will reap the consequence of its own strike, and what was meant to break you will be broken against you. Do you not see? The enemy tried to mock you by planting affliction in the place of your strength, but God is about to make that very place the stage of your greatest breakthrough. The same body that trembled will stand as a testimony of resilience. The same mind that felt unrest will declare wisdom and clarity. The same spirit that felt weary will roar with authority. This is divine reversal, where the place of weakness becomes the place of power, and the area of attack becomes the arena of victory. Archangel Michael speaks. The adversary laughed too soon. He celebrated too early, for he thought your silence was surrender. He thought your dismissal was defeat, but heaven was only setting the stage for justice. Now the decree has gone forth. The enemy's schemes return to his own head. The pit he dug will swallow him. The snare he set will entangle him. The fire he lit will consume him. Child of God, the justice of heaven is not slow, nor does it forget. The tears you cried in secret have been gathered. The sighs you thought no one heard have been recorded. And now, every act of pain will be met with recompense. This is why the angels stood guard. This is why Michael did not depart. This is why the warning came so urgently. Because what was meant to bury you will now be used to crown you. This is divine reversal. The disruption that was meant to stop you will instead mark you as unstoppable. The confusion that sought to scatter you will instead clarify your path. The attack that tried to weaken you will instead strengthen your testimony. Heaven does not allow injustice to stand. Heaven does not let the righteous go unrewarded. And you, beloved, are stepping into a season where the very area of affliction becomes the fountain of favor. Do not fear what you felt, for it will not remain as it was. Do not mourn what you endured, for it is being transfigured into glory. The enemy wanted to define you by pain, but God will define you by power. The enemy wanted to label you with weakness, but God will clothe you in strength. This is not the end of your story. It is the turning point where divine justice speaks louder than the whispers of affliction. Lift your eyes and see. The unseen forces are already working. The reversal is already underway. And you shall testify that the very nothing you ignored became the greatest evidence of heaven's justice in your life. Type divine reversal in the comments if you believe justice is now working in your favor. Blessing code 4141 is now establishing victory over your enemies. Beloved, hear this final word. The pain you ignored was never meaningless. The unease you dismissed was never empty. There was a signal, a call, a trumpet from heaven wrapped in disguise. What you thought was small, what you thought was nothing, was the hand of God reaching for you, warning you, guiding you. And now you see clearly. It was never random. It was never without purpose. It was the divine drawing you closer, reminding you that you are chosen, that you are marked, that you are covered by the armies of light. Archangel Michael declares, you are not overlooked. You are not forsaken. You are not abandoned. Heaven has watched you. Heaven has defended you. Heaven has preserved you. Even when you ignored the signs, heaven did not ignore you. Even when you silenced the signal, heaven still spoke your name. Even when you brushed it away, the Lord still commanded angels to surround you like fire. You are seen. You are shielded. You are sent. And now, I speak blessing over you. Let the mark of heaven rest upon your head. Let the shield of divine protection encircle your life. Let the oil of breakthrough flow upon your household. You are sealed by heaven's decree, covered by heaven's armies, surrounded by heaven's favor. The time of delay has ended. The time of destiny has begun. Do not look back at what was lost. Look forward to what is unfolding. For your time is now. Your call is now. Your victory is now. So walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with assurance. Walk forward with the certainty that you are guarded by Michael, strengthened by the Spirit, and carried by the hand of God Himself. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are empowered. And the ignored pain that once whispered nothing has now become the loudest confirmation that heaven is with you. Type I am sealed in the comments if you receive this closing blessing. Blessing code 5555 has been poured out over your life. And as we seal this prophetic word, I invite you to partner with heaven's word. Every word you've heard today is more than a message. It is a mission. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into the spread of prophecy, into the awakening of souls who are waiting for their own word from God. The Spirit says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Your giving is not about supporting a channel. It is about igniting fires of faith in hearts across the world. Step into this prophetic act now. Sow your seed, release your gift, and watch how heaven multiplies it back into your life with favor, protection, and breakthrough. Do not delay. Act now, and let your giving be the final declaration that you are aligned with heaven's call.